welcome back. And for those that are new and joining us now, welcome to my Judy Lee Creations video series, where here on this channel I will teach you different tutorial videos on how to create cute little crafts, primarily using Stampin' Up! Products. I became a Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator back in 2019 during their celebration events. What inspired me, or what sparked my interest in Stampin' Up! Was actually one evening when I was scrolling through Pinterest and I saw some cute cards created using this tufted, dynamic, textured impression embossing folder. So when I saw the card made with this, I was like, I have to have that. Let me open it up and show you. I know it looks brand new, but like I swear I've used it. This is just me storing it with my very minimal crafting space at the moment. Hopefully in the future I will be able to upgrade to a designated crafting area. So this is the folder, and how this works is you pretty much put your cardstock in here and sandwich it, and then if you have to use this with a manual die cutting machine. Stampin' Up! Pretty much discontinued their previous one. In their new annual catalog release in early June of this year, so June 2020, there will be a reveal of our new embossing, die cutting embossing machine. So be on the lookout for that. I can't say too much yet. And pretty much this would imprint the impression on your cardstock. So we won't be using this today, but this was the little bad boy that got me signing up with Stampin' Up! Yeah, so enough about that. That's the card creation that we're going to do today is this cute card right here. You can say it's simple stamping, and my inspiration for this is my family's love for dogs. We used to have a dog. His name was Tiny, a little Yorkie poo. We've had him for about 15 to 16 years. He was well loved, very spoiled, and well fed. He wasn't so tiny after, like, I don't know, after 5-10 years. But yeah, he's no longer with us. He passed away a few years ago. Yeah, so let's see. That set that we will be using is actually going to expire early June when the new catalog releases. You can find it in our current catalog or online. I'll link the details below, and I'll show you which exact stamp set it is. Now, if you're not a dog lover, there's also a cat version too. So as you can see here, actually, I should have showed you this on the overhead. It's probably better. So in the catalog, this stamp set does come with the punch, and then they have the cat version here for our cat lovers. Now keep in mind, you can do this with any current stamp sets you have if you can't buy any more at the moment. But if you are interested, now is the time to buy it. It's found in the last chance section on our website. Before they discontinue. Once it's discontinued, there's no more. You gotta repurchase from someone else who you gotta hope that are selling them. One lesson that I learned today is not to keep my coffee too close to my cardstock, especially with my clumsiness. I got it all over my cardstock, but luckily I was able to salvage it because I don't like any paper going to waste, especially my designer series paper. Yeah, I guess let's get started. Alrighty, so before we begin, I would appreciate it if you can like and subscribe to my channel. Like the video and leave a comment below. I will leave all the measurements in the description in case you don't have a pen or paper to write up to follow along. I would also appreciate it if you can follow my Instagram and Facebook account at Judy Lee Creations. You can also, if you're interested to purchasing the stamp set and the punches and other materials, you can shop with me at judylee.stampinup.net. That will then assign me as your demonstrator. You can also, if you're placing an order before the end of the month, you can use my Hostess code. And entering my Hostess code, April Hostess code, and placing an order with me, I will send you a complimentary card in the mail. That's my way of thanking you. And I also have a blog at judyleecreations.ca. So to create this card, you will need a crumb cake cardstock cut in half. So it would be 8.5 by 5.5 inches. We are going to score this in half at 4 1/4. You will also need scrap white, Whisper White cardstock. This is where we're going to stamp and punch out the dog. The Happy Tail stamp set. So this is a photopolymer. Oh, I cannot even say that today. Stamp set. As you can see, it's clear. It's easy for you to align for the two-step stamping that we would be doing for the doghouse. So we'll be using quite a bit of images from this set. You will also need some ink pads. Today we'll be using Memento Tuxedo Black, Crumb Cake, and Smoky Slate. You'll need some acrylic blocks to mount your stamps on. Some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. So these are pretty much just a double-sided adhesive foam tape. A bone folder. This is called a bone folder, and what it does is once you score your line, it helps, you know, burnish and make the line more prominent. And I think that, oh yes, can't forget this. It's the dog punch. So the dog punch comes dog and the heart. The heart does coordinate with the heart in the in the set. This is the locking mechanism. So if you've never used the punch before, or sorry, the Stampin' Up! Punch before, unlocking it will open it up. So you would slide the cardstock in there, and you'll see that later. And then to store it safely, you lock it and push that down, and it should sit flush. So let's get started. I'm going to bring in my, so this is my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. This is the older model. Stampin' Up! Just released a newer model recent, I believe. I can't remember, probably the past few months or so. It's in our current catalog. So we're going to, I have a lot of blades for this trimmer, so I won't purchase the new one until I run out. You know, as a crafter, I'd prefer to buy more stamp sets. So the light one is the scoring tool, and the dark one is the blade. I'm only using the scoring tool at the moment because I already pre-cut this. And then you fold that in half. So you see, because I scored it, it's not sitting flat. So this is where the bone folder is good, because this is called burnishing. Once you are pressing down some pressure, it helps it stay flat. Now make sure you're opening it the right way. I've created a card upside down before. That was an interesting time. Okay, so let's start off by stamping the house. I'm just gonna take the dog off of here. I thought I had enough, but I guess I don't. So we're gonna stamp the outline of the doghouse first. Just put it on there, and we're gonna stamp it in Memento Tuxedo Black. I always get this color on me for whatever reason, so I always try to be extra careful. So make sure you ink up the image, all nicely inked up. I think my ink pad is drying up. Might have to refill that soon. Okay. And I want my doghouse right about here. I was just eyeballing that. Okay, clean your ink. Always clean your stamps. It helps preserve the stamp, and then it doesn't cross-contaminate your ink pad colors. You know, the last thing we would want is like, I don't know, blue and red, red and green, that sort of stuff. So now we're going to use this image here, and we're going to do something called second generation stamping, sorry. So we're using the Smoky Slate. So what second generation stamping means is you pretty much first you ink up the stamp, and then you stamp it off on a scrap piece of paper, as you can see, and then we stamp it onto our project. It gives you a lighter tone of the ink color. So if you're looking, see, because I didn't want it too dark. Clean off the stamp and put it back in. Oops. Let's close this before I get my hands all in it. Get my dog back on here. Okay, so another thing I would like to do is let's stamp the dog. Let's put this aside and work on the dog. So we're gonna ink up the dog in black Memento ink. Yeah, my ink is running low. Gotta refill that later. Okay, so remember, you don't want to, because there is a limit to the depth of our punch. You don't want to stamp it all the way in the center where your punch cannot reach. So try to stamp it closer to the edge or so, where you know for sure your punch can reach. Now you can color in the dog as well if you'd like, or you could put, you know, spots or so, Dalmatians. Let's leave the dog on there for now. Let's bring in our punch. Slide this in and line it up. And punch. Okay. And then lock it back for safety reasons. So we got our dog here. I don't need the heart, so I could put that aside. So we know the dog's gonna go here, but we won't mount him on yet. We are going to work on the background to add some interest. So what I'm going to do, because I want the dog to have roof next to the mouth, so let's do that. I didn't glue this down yet. I'm just using it for placements, so I know where to stick this. And I want it like right there. Perfect. Clean that off. And then we're gonna use Just For You. I want that somewhere down here. And stick it down. Now, the fun part. So, the paw prints, I did it in Smoky Slate, and the bones, I did it in Crumb Cake. So where is my paw prints? Now there's no, there's no proper pattern or organization for this. I just freehand stamped wherever I liked, so it's scattered all over the place. The only thing I kept in mind was to avoid the house and my sentiments. So you could just stamp wherever your heart desires. I'm making sure to keep some space in between so that I can stamp my dog bone afterwards though. So I don't want them too close. Okay. Just put one here, even though the dog might cover it up. Oh, I know. I want one in the corner here. Oh, okay, I'm way off. Okay, that should be good. Clean my stamp. Close this and let's bring in Crumb Cake. And the doggy bone. Again, stamp wherever your heart desires. I'm just filling in the gaps so it looks balanced out. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just adding interest to the background so we don't have a plain background. Okay, let's close that up. We're almost done. And bring in our dog. So our dog, we're gonna mount it up on the dimensionals. Now, if you're mailing it, keep in mind to make sure to put extras so that it doesn't sag or like, you know, get ruined in the mail. Because we all know how careful that is. Now, where's my adhesive? Scissors, there it is. So for the smaller parts, when I want to mount them up, you can either use the mini dimensionals or you can cut down your dimensionals. This somewhere here for the arm. This might be too big for the tail. So you know what? I'll just skip the tail. So I want the dog about here so that his nose lines up with that. And you know what, even if you're slightly off on this card, it's very forgiving because it's not, yeah, it's, what's the word? Hopefully you know what I mean. And, oh yes, inside. Don't forget about the inside. So where is our sentiment? Let's do keep calm and wag on. I'm gonna do it in black Memento ink. Okay, and I'm just gonna try to get this as straight as I can. Okay. And to add a bit more interest on the inside so that it looks the same as the outside, I like my paw prints, so I'm gonna add more paw prints in here. But I'm gonna try to make it like a trail, as if, you know, when a dog steps in mud or dirt or something and then leaves that paw print trail. I think it's cuter that way. Let's do one off this side here. And there you have it, folks. a very simple and cute card. And it's gender neutral, so it's not too girly, you know, you could send it to anyone pretty much. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and click subscribe to my channel. I'd like to thank you all in advance for your support and hope to see you here soon. Thanks. Bye.